Hello, and welcome to Billy Bob's Punk and Ska Album of the Month. For the month of August 2023, I am featuring an album by a band I stumbled across about 5 or 6 months ago on my meanderings through the internet. I had come across a giant comp that had like 150 some odd bands on it. And as I was listening through it, I came across a band called Fidget and the Twitchers, and their song was so catchy that it prompted me to go hunt down the album that they had released called Full Steam Ahead, which is the album I'm featuring this month. It's a fucking phenomenal album. I really suggest you go and check it out. So it's entered my playlist, and I played it through quite a few times, and I really enjoyed it. So I reached out to the band and was lucky enough to catch them on a lunch break to score an interview, which we're about to bust into here in a second. Please make sure to like and subscribe and click the bell and fucking comments and all that other fucking bullshit. But whatever, let's get to this fucking interview. Wow. So how are you it's afternoon there, right? How are you this fine afternoon?
Yeah, not bad.
Not
Great.
bad, not bad. In our lunch breaks, some of us from work.
Oh yeah, I feel you. So we should just jump right into this shit. First off, who am I talking to? Because like on the line, it just says 7-piece band. Doesn't list any members' names on any website at all.
That's exactly what we were talking earlier as well. But yeah, I'm Juana. I play drums.
I'm Danny. I play guitar and sing as well.
I'm Anna. I play saxophone.
I'm Hex. I play trombone, flute, and keyboard.
Word. I'm Billy Bob. I play guitar and some shit. I don't know.
We also have Tom coming in a bit, who's on his lunch break, so he's making his way here, but he also plays trumpet.
Word.
He'll just walk in and sit down at some point.
The other two are missing.
Yeah, our bassist is sick, and our other sax player is on the boat.
Word.
I'm an automatic twat. What you think about that?
First off, how did y'all get into music to begin with?
Oh yeah, well, I kind of always been into music to some degree. The first time I joined a band, I was kind of tricked into being in a band. But I first of all joined as because I wanted to hang out with these guys who are in a cool band, and so I started just showing up to their band practices, and then as a joke joined as a triangle player, and then ended up doing some lyric writing with the singer, and then I knew most of the lyrics, and then the singer quit, and I was like, oh okay, I guess I'm the singer of this band now, and then the bassist quit, and I was like, oh well, we need a bassist, so I started playing bass that way. Then before I knew it, I accidentally ended up playing 2 instruments in the band. But yeah, that was my history of music, and since then I've just messed around with whatever instrument comes near me.
I didn't know that.
Oh.
Not all of it, anyway.
Didn't know that.
We're all learning things.
Yeah, right. That's a good question.
I took a slow meander into music. I was quite fickle and I couldn't decide what instrument I wanted to play. So when I was in school, I dabbled with drums and bass and guitar. And then a dear friend of mine gave me her old saxophone that she used to play in school when we were like 17, that I didn't pick up for a few years. And then about 5-6 years ago, I decided to dabble again, but yeah, this time I'm real committed. It's happening. It's life now. And then I met all these wonderful creatures.
Cool. You go.
Yeah, I go. Well, I always wanted to play drums. It was a bit tricky for me at first to get the instrument because obviously it's a bit of a pain. So my parents convinced me to play piano instead. I hated it. I had like 2 years of piano lessons. It was hell. And I was like, oh, maybe music is not for me. I had a bit of a break, and then I was like, no, actually, I still want to play, drums. So yeah, it was a bit difficult because my parents were a bit against it because I was a woman and I cannot play drums if you're a woman,
Not allowed.
So it's not allowed. It's impossible, So pretty much then I saved a lot of money and I bought my own kit. And yeah, I'm a self-taught drummer ever since, and here I am now after years of of playing in multiple bands, a few bands back home in Romania as well, and here in the UK.
Well, technically, the piano is considered a percussive instrument.
I was
I
literally
know.
saying this before we had
We just
this.
talked
Literally
about it.
just before we started this.
But it's not the same.
It's too tuned. Use delicate little fingers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you want to
it's
hit
just-
things hard.
Things with
It's like
sticks.
playing the piano with the sticks.
I
Yeah.
think that's
That's a marimba.
That's a marimba. That's it. Maybe that. But yeah, what about you?
So I've been an avid listener of music for most of my life, whether I knew it or not. I've always been quite spongy to stuff like that, and I've always just enjoyed listening to people who love playing music play music. I did a lot of drama when I was younger and stuff like that, so I've always been singing in musicals and stuff like that, but it was always like a bit too cutesy for me. And then once I realized I could, pick up a guitar and start making sounds myself, that's what I did for quite a while. And then maybe did some acoustics, gigs in my hometown and around. But it wasn't until I moved to Bristol and started meeting these guys that I started a band. I'd already written some songs at that point, but didn't know how it was going to go. Kind of landed on my feet in many ways with that, meeting the right people and doing the right stuff.
Oh no, you can cuss. I give no fucks.
That's good to know.
Yeah, I ain't gonna edit this shit. My shit's probably never gonna be monetized because I'm never gonna do so. No
or anything like that then.
Oh, they buy it, buy it, buy. Buy it, buy it, buy. Buy it, buy it, buy. Through the buy and buy.
Right. So acoustic shit. So you're referring to all the demos that are up on the SoundCloud from 5 years ago?
Yeah, that'll be some of it. Yeah. Oh man, you actually listen to that. Yeah, that's the start of the bare bones of what we are doing. Really, it was mostly covers then, but I'd started to write songs, and so I was like filtering a couple in. But it really started to take shape when everyone else was there, because those songs were never intended to just be me with a guitar. That's just how I could perform them at the time, but I always thought this needs a band because it's not quite the same.
Now, when you initially posted those up back in 2018, did you post them up under the Fidget and the Twitchers name, or?
No, it was just me. The Fidget and the Twitchers thing came as I was on a long drive I was working as a chef. It was about an hour and a half drive, and I was stuck in some traffic, and I was trying to rattle off some names in my head, and I was sitting in my seat like this, trying to get comfortable, and I'm always like this, fidgeting about. And then I just kind of, I don't know, had a light bulb moment, and I was like, that's what we need to be called.
It's a very relatable name in this area. I live in Missouri, and we have a bunch of tweakers around here, so
Many wrong iterations of our name, but Fidget and the Tweakers isn't one we've had yet, actually.
The end of your story is gonna be tragic. 'Cause now you're trapped inside my like voodoo magic.
So, how did you all meet and become a band? You said you moved to Bristol, and that's how it all went down. Describe that for me.
My idea of moving to Bristol was to start a band, so I just literally frantically messaged anyone I knew who was in a band or slightly, in the know with people who played instruments or anything like that. And after 20 people down the line, I finally got someone who was like, yeah, that sounds good. Let's give it a go.
You gotta pardon me.
Pardon.
Word.
So am my brain. So am my brain. So am I.
So, the Salt on the Brain EP, that was a pretty good EP. 4 tracks of awesomeness. Tell me a bit about that album, EP, extended play.
Well, Anna and I are the only ones here that were involved in that, because Fred and Juana are newer additions.
And
But it I mean, it was
Feels like ages ago.
yeah, it was so long ago now. I got to kind of think back, but it was the first iteration of our band, really, wasn't it? Because that was 2 drummers ago as well. He's now in Germany, that guy. But it was just an attempt at getting something out and see how it went, really, wasn't it? It was with a potential album in mind, but we were just kind of guessing at that point where we didn't really know what we were doing. Let's just do it and see how it goes.
I mean, other than Tom, that was probably all of yours first release that you'd recorded on, right?
Yeah, easy. Yeah.
So yeah, just kind of finding your feet a little bit.
Yeah, it was nice to be in a recording studio and actually get your bearings on how that works as well, and the ins and outs of how you do that.
Yeah, and how we gel as a band, and that first feeling of, this is probably going to last after I'm dead. My voice and my playing are on this, and it's out there in the ether.
And some of the trumpet.
And here's Tom.
Hello.
Tom's just arrived.
Okay.
We're talking
Introduce
about
yourself quickly.
Hi, I'm
what up,
Tom.
Tom?
I'm running from work for my lunch break, so forgive me if I smash down a lovely Sainsbury's meal deal while we're doing this.
So, how did you first get into music? You joined the conversation late.
I mean, it was my obsession. I was born with a hearing problem. It's quite common. It's about 1 in 10 people have it, where your eardrums don't grow over properly, and so you're basically deaf until they put this. It's a really basic operation. Loads of people have it, but so I had that. So I was always obsessed with sound as soon as I had that operation. So all my life, but I found my dad's trumpet in the cupboard when I was about 4. And my dad was like, you won't be able to make a note out of that. You have to make a special face. And just bizarrely, I must have made that face because a note came out. And after that, I was hooked. So that's it, really.
That's some years. That's playing.
Well, that's a really good question, because I've learned something about everyone that you've asked that question to.
Yeah, it's a great starter question. It's a great starter question. So,
Steam and it's rushing to my every atom. I got steam and I'm running like a locomotive. I got steam and controls my mind and every motive. I got steam and it's spewing at the top of my head.
now, you talked about Salt on the Brain EP. Now let's move on to Full Steam Ahead, your newest album. Well, your only full album. It's pretty fucking phenomenal. I stumbled across it via you had some song on a giant fucking comp. What do you know about ska punk? It's like 100
Yes.
odd songs. I stumbled across yours, and it prompted me to actually go listen to the album. That's how I stumbled across you guys.
Man.
But it's a fucking great album. Tell me a bit about that one.
Okay, yeah, me first. Okay. So, I mean, most of those songs, I'd say about half of those songs on that album I'd already had written before I met any of these guys. And then the other half kind of came as I moved to Bristol and started writing more songs and thinking about how we can, make more space in what I'm doing in order to cater for places like trumpet and trombone and saxophone. But yeah, I mean, it was it was a long time coming, but it also kind of just fell into place a lot of the time, didn't it?
Yeah, it was. Some of those songs were a real journey. We played those live for a while, and some of those horn lines we changed a few times completely from what we originally had to the final iteration that you see. Yeah, and recording it was an incredible experience as well. It was our first time, a full week in the studio together, hearing everyone layer their sounds in bit by bit in the room next door. It was really something special.
A hell of a week that. Tom only didn't make it because he was touch and go with COVID. He was just ill. It wasn't COVID, so he could come.
I literally had all the COVID symptoms, doing tests every day. And eventually I had to have one of those special ones for extra tests you might have had out in the States. I don't know. That, yeah. So the moment I got the text to say you're free, I was like halfway to the car.
Yeah.
And then he came and did everything in pretty much one take, so we call him One Take Tommy.
I'll take that nickname all day, yeah.
Just arrived on the last day and we were like, look, we've only got limited time. And he was like, it's okay, I've got it. Done. Right.
In truth, I'd been sat at home like ill from work, but just practicing. So I'd had a week of practice.
So, you've been playing quite a bit of shows I've seen online. What has been your favorite show so far?
It's a very difficult question to answer.
Our first, we played at Bolter last year. And Bolter's a music festival near us in just over the road in Chepstow. Really like down to earth music festival, with like really nice people, and it's like mostly really extreme like electronic music. And that was our first like big festival. And in my mind, I was like, I thought if that show went really well, then we could become this sort of festival band. Whereas maybe if it didn't go so well, we'd have to go back and change some stuff. But it kind of blew me away how we were playing, and I could literally see people running in to watch us, running to watch us.
Yeah,
play.
that was quite cool.
And that was quite exciting, because normally previous to that, we played a lot of kind of underground, dark kind of corners, which I like. But that was like big outdoor show. You could see everyone running in, and that was really satisfying, because I thought to myself, yeah, people like what we're playing in the way that we're playing it.
That was a bit of a kind of opening moment for us, wasn't it? Because we're like, oh, we can fucking do this. I would personally, I would say that Boomtown was a personal highlight, just purely because it's one of those places that I've been going for many years before that, and every single year I've gone, I've just been like, I bet it's so much fun to play here as a band, and it's just like a little kind of bucket list moment to tick off.
Yeah, Boomtown Festival is a festival where they quite literally build a city out of wood. And, you've got all your different areas, your Wild West and your pirate area and your
districts.
Yeah. So, yeah, mad festival.
It's incredible. What was your favorite one?
I think my favorite was probably in between Bearded Fury and Nonstop, but I'll say Nonstop this year because it was quite funny, and I really enjoyed seeing most of my bandmates in dresses, and like seeing all of them normally from behind. It was like a very different view this time. And the theme of this festival was Under the Sea, and you could see how creative we are, because the band that is not here ended up using his old bass case to make out of it a what was he?
He made himself into a killer whale. He just opened it up and put the paint on it.
That was brilliant. And that killer whale thing was just like on top of me the whole time when we drove there. Yeah. So I felt very connected to that. But it was an amazing show, and we played this really big stage, and for the first time I had my drum kit rolled in, and I was like, wow.
That's cool.
It's like, Mom, I made it when my drum kit is rolled out on the stage, and I was like, wow, what a flex. That's amazing. It was like no pressure of doing it. But anyway, like the whole gig was really nice. Like we were jumping around, we had like this really cute kid with us on stage, and
his dad approached us beforehand, was like, can my son dance on stage? And we're like, get him on, it's fine.
Yeah. So we had the best dancer on stage as well. So and Anna was like wearing this octopus kind of funny looking thing costume, and I think Tom, as always, you look like the dad in the costume.
I got told I look like a dad who lost his kids in the sea, because I'm just wearing a pair of swim shorts and some goggles.
Yeah.
You look like you turned up at the wrong fancy dress party though, because you were wearing swim shorts and scientist goggles.
Yeah,
not
they were.
goggles.
Well, they were sort of swimming-ish. I'm lazy with outfits, so I was trying to do it the shortest route I can.
What was your favourite one, Anna?
Oh, we played this night in Bristol called Contraband Circus, and it's just so Bristol. Bristol is a place where you can put a show on at 1 p.m. on a Wednesday and people will dance because everyone is just so ready. And Contraband Circus is this incredible event that happens under the archways underneath the main train station in Bristol, that's all dingy and musky with fire performance and circus people and this whole like clowny kind of theme and clowncore music, and it is just such a vibe.
Everyone looks like a clown as well.
Everyone dresses up, yeah.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite show as well. It's like it's in these coal tunnels that were built in like the late 1800s by Isambard Kingdom Brunel underneath the railway station. So it's got such a good vibe to it. And like we have parallel tunnels, and so we'll always be playing in one tunnel with this ridiculously intense, high tempo electronic hard tech music in the next tunnel over. So it's like we'll finish a song, and in that little gap of time between us finishing and the crowd starting to cheer, you just hear coming from next door, and like that always, I like that.
do you know who? If I was to say faintest idea, do you know who that is?
No clue.
Okay,
Wow.
check them out. You'll really like them. But we played the last Contraband Circus with those guys. And they, like, in the middle of their set, the singer just kind of stopped and had a little slap in the face of reality moment and was like, I'm playing to a load of clowns with Gabba playing next door. This is the most Bristol thing I'm ever going to experience.
I think something really special about the Contraband Circus gig was that when we first started out and we just recorded that EP, they asked us to play our first Contraband Circus. And we had a half an hour set at the time, and they gave us an hour slot. And so in the space of about 3 weeks, we had to double the length of
really
all the music that we had. So it was like, in the same way that the war kind of accelerates technology, that one gig kind of made our album just splurge into being.
Good answer, really good answer.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Something similar happened to me one time. I was playing a show. I used to be in a band called Molotov Latte. It was a punk band. And we were playing a show. We booked 2 shows one night. One was a ska show that we opened up for, and we accidentally stole the audience from that to go to block away to a different show. Everyone packed into this tiny place, and the beer was flowing. And after we were done with our set, which was like about 45 minutes long, everyone was like, play more songs. And we didn't have any more songs. But they were all toasty enough that we just started the set over and played all our songs. And no one noticed. No one noticed. We played our set 3 times that night, played for like 2.5 hours. It was phenomenal.
That's nothing short of a professional job. They'll never know. Let's just keep going.
It was great times. You got anything new in the works? What's coming down the pipeline?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do.
We have an EP. I don't want to say it's ready to go, because it's not, but all of the songs are written. We just need to flesh some of them out, and then they're ready to go.
Yeah.
We have recording dates, so it's definitely happening.
Yeah, we've set ourselves deadlines, which is normally a good way of realizing, shit, we've got to get this done by then.
But before that, we do have a single coming out. So we've just finished recording a single, which we're gonna. It's with the mixing engineer now, so we're probably looking at an autumn or fall, I guess you'd say, release for that. And yeah, we don't have an exact date yet, but it shouldn't be too long. It's a bit different from our previous stuff, so it's a little bit more.
That one, actually, speaking of Contraband Circus that we were just speaking about, that's a single that's literally written about that place. It's called Contraband Circus.
Yeah, so we'll give you a feel for the night.
Awesome. How fucking informative was that shit? I thought that went really well. Please go and check out all their social medias. They have quite a bit. They're on the Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, Apple Music. Check out their fucking YouTube channel, because they're always posting up fucking cool shit, like all the fucking remixes that I forgot to ask about. I really meant to ask about those. I apologize. I'm sure that you were wondering about them too. We'll fucking have to wait till another time to find out that information. But, you know, what the shit ever. Moving on. Yeah, definitely check out their Bandcamp and go and get that album, because it's a fucking great album. Great album. Once again, please make sure to like and subscribe and all that other fucking bullshit. And stay tuned for next month when I'm going to do somebody else fucking awesome. We'll see who it is. I don't know yet. It's still kind of up in the air. But it's going to be fucking awesome. I guarantee it. Later. Look, I know we were done with this, but I actually got more information that I thought might behoove us all. I expressed to Danny that I was sad about not getting the information about said remixes, and I got a message back that I am sharing with you right now.
So that started out as an idea that just kind of spiraled out and snowballed. We've got quite a lot of DJ friends and producer friends and stuff, and some people we will ask, like, do you want to do a remix? And other people have just asked us, like, give me some stems, I want to do a remix. So that's how it's come about. But we should have a remix album come out in September-ish time, which I'm quite excited about.
So yeah, September. That's not too fucking far off. That's going to be awesome. Make sure to fucking tune in for that shit as well. And with that, I'm going to fucking leave you. Keep fucking rocking.